Alright, so we're just doing a little daily vlog here, vlog, so to speak. It's 10:10 a.m. and I'm on the way to Charlotte, North Carolina. And the Cybertruck is driving, no hands, no feet. Just sitting back here relaxing. And I'm about to pull over. I got it set to go to this McDonald's. It's about 4 miles away. Here, I'm just going to grab me a hash brown and a drink and hold me over to lunch. And but I'm on the way to Tesla in Matthews, North Carolina, to test drive the new Model Y, the 2026 Model Y redesigned vehicle. It's going to be pretty epic. And I got an email earlier this week inviting me to come test drive it. And so I responded, RSVP'd, and got set up. And so that's where I'm headed today. I'm excited to take a look at it. It doesn't appear on my channel. I don't think I've ever had it on there, but I've got a 2022, I think it is, Model Y. And so I might be replacing it with this new Model Y in about another year or so. I don't know. But again, I'm going to stop at this McDonald's and have a little Scottish breakfast, as my friend EV Dave will say. Speaking of EV Dave, I'm going to be meeting him up here tomorrow. There is an event they're having. It's like a Cars and Coffee Saturday morning, and at the same Tesla service center that I'm headed to. So, and Dave will be there. So I'll have a video. I'll have this vlog, as well as probably later today I'll post a video of the Model Y test drive, and then in a few days after that I'll post a video after I edit it of the event that the Cars and Coffee event that they're having tomorrow morning. Brian from I1 Tesla, if you've ever seen his YouTube channel, he has a business in the Charlotte area called I1 Customs, where he does wraps, and he's going to be there tomorrow too, showcasing a lot of Cybertrucks that he's wrapped and other cars. And speaking of wraps, I'm thinking about getting a wrap. You know, I like the stainless steel look, but it's kind of aggravating to keep it clean. And every little thing shows up on the stainless steel. And there's this substance that they have at the car wash I go through that I think it's tire wheel cleaner. It's really greasy, and every time I go through my car wash now, even though I have that disabled, somehow it's getting on the side of my car, and that stuff is a pain in the butt to try to get off the stainless steel. So I've invested in a brush, like a automatic cordless rotary brush I'm going to use to, along with my spot cleaner, and since that, you know, helps me get it off. But in the meantime, I'm exploring getting maybe a clear wrap that still, you know, showcases the silver color and the stainless steel, but that just protects it a little better and allows it to stay cleaner. And so here's our exit. We're just getting off here. And
now take exit 102 on the right.
the car is going to go up here and take a left and take a ride into the McDonald's. It'll probably try to park, so I'll disable the full self-driving, and so I can get in the drive-through line. But anyway, getting back to the wrap. So I'm going to I'll talk with Brian tomorrow about that. And if, you know, I could probably get a free wrap kit from one of my sponsors. I know Hand Show has one that they sell for about $600. It's a full PPF wrap for Cybertruck. And I would just put it on myself. There's a company in Chattanooga called Test Bros. They have a really good kit, and I've seen some videos on their kit. I really like their kit better because the way they have it cut specifically so you can wrap the edges real easily. I think their kit's $1,200. That's before discounts. You can get some discounts on it and with different coupon codes and whatnot. So I probably could get their kit for around $1,000 versus getting a free one from Hand Show. So I got to kind of weigh my options if I end up doing that. I'm going to talk with Brian and see how much he would charge to install it if I wanted him to do it. I don't have a problem with installing it myself. I think it would be kind of fun. And, you know, I'm kind of a DIY guy, as you know from my channel already.
In
But
500 feet, turn
cleaning
right.
the vehicle before putting a wrap on is probably the only thing I would have somebody else do, because I would want to make sure that it's, you know, pretty spotless. And I don't like cleaning the vehicle by hand, and I don't necessarily think I'm really good at it. Okay, we're pulling into McDonald's here.
Now turn right.
This is McDonald's in Blacksburg, South Carolina, right off of I-85 North. And there's never many people here at all.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
Okay, so I'm going to have to disable the FSD and get in the drive-through here. And I'll just take you along with me. Why not?
Thank you for choosing McDonald's. Will it be using your mobile app?
No.
You can order when you're ready.
Let me get one hash brown and a medium Diet Coke, please.
One hash brown and a medium Diet Coke.
Yes, ma'am.
You can pull around. Second window.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't eat a lot. And so I would rather eat more for lunch than breakfast. So I'm just having somewhat of a light snack, so to speak.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing? Let me get my card. Sorry.
What, 38?
Thank you. It is. It's got a 6-foot bed. Yeah. I have a construction business, and so I haul stuff all the time.
Makes sense.
They always want to know about the Cybertruck. We need to go through a drive-thru. Is this diet? Okay, thank you. I always put my drinks in the cup holder that I have down in the lower center console. They're easier to get in and out of there, believe it or not. And thank you. Have a good day. And so let me set my navigation back to Tesla Service Center in Charlotte, or Matthews, North Carolina, rather. And so the vehicle is going to take a left here. And it could go, but there's a truck in the median that's turning, so it's probably waiting to see what that truck's doing. Okay, he definitely could have went then. I don't know why it didn't go. Alright, let's see what it does now. It's still thinking, so I'm gonna have to push the accelerator. This version that I've got of FSD now is I've had more bugs in it than any version I've had it, where it's hesitant to go. I've had it stop at a green light one day in a town I was going through. It just stopped at a green light. Never seen that before. And I've had it take a left-hand turn twice, and when it took the turn, instead of going across and getting in the correct lane, it would get in the lane of the oncoming traffic, which was odd. And I had to disengage both times. And so this is a buggy version, and I'm looking forward to getting, version .6 I had was
In
previous
500
version
feet, turn
was
left to take the Interstate 85 north ramp toward
perfect.
Charlotte.
As far as I was concerned, I'm sure it wasn't. There's never going to be perfect
Now turn
software.
left to take the Interstate 85 north ramp.
But I never had any issues with .6. This .7, I've had several, disengagements. But it still does remarkably well and light years ahead of the software we had just a year ago. Especially when you're transitioning between the freeway or the interstates and city streets. That transition used to be kind of ugly because there was two different versions of the software that it would make the transition from one to the other, and now it's one complete stack, so to speak, or one version of the software that that it uses for both. So there's not like a transition period, and it's a lot smoother. So we're getting on the freeway right now, and it when it gets up here at the end of the on-ramp and it has to merge in with the freeway traffic, that's what I'm talking about. It used to be pretty ugly on previous versions of the software, and sometimes it just wouldn't do it. You had to take over, and that's a critical point, when you're getting on the interstate, is merging into that traffic, and it's just smooth as butter now. And very confident in its ability. So FSD is really nice on the freeway. If you're doing a trip, the only thing is it gets boring because you have to sit and keep your face forward and watch the road. You can't look at the screen for more than about a second. You can't pick up your phone. You can't even look at your watch for more than about a second, and it starts beeping at you. And if you don't go right back to looking straight ahead, it will disable FSD, and then it'll disable it for the entire ride, and you actually can't use it again to punish you. So you have to sit here and watch, and and then you're like, what do I do with my hands? And a lot of times I'll just cross them. Sometimes it's very awkward. So that leads into my next topic. I'll be so glad later this year we get unsupervised FSD. That is going to be so nice to be able to watch something on the screen, watch a show, a movie on Netflix or something on YouTube, or to be able to use your phone. That is going to be so darn cool. I'm going to scarf down this hash brown, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I decided just to come back while I'm eating this hash brown, because this highlights something important. One of the few things you can do when the car is driving without getting in kind of trouble is eat and drink. And it is so nice to have full self-driving when you're going to eat going down the road. And these hash browns are so good if you just want like a light breakfast. Although they're greasy, definitely not one of the better healthy things to have for breakfast. So there's a car merging in right now from the on-ramp, but my car's just getting over to let it get on. They just slowed down to let a truck get into the same lane because it saw the truck was trying to get over. It acts just like a human. The AI has been trained on billions of human-driven videos that Tesla has collected over the past 7 years. And it's remarkable how human acting, the behavior of the driving is. Put the string down. Again, it's not perfect. Probably never will be. But I would venture to say this is a better driver than most humans. Definitely better than me most of the time, because of the fact that it has vision all the way around the car. Like, for example, say going through an intersection, a red light. If there was a car running the red light, you know, how likely are you to see it if it's coming up from high speed from one direction and you're focused on going straight? Most of the time, I think it's going to be too late by the time you recognize it and can mitigate. But this car could see it very early on and plot the trajectory of the vehicle. No, my car just slowed down. There's a highway patrol on the side of the road. I've noticed it does that. So again, I think, you know, all the training data they got, there's probably millions of instances where there's a silver, you know, vehicle or vehicle of a certain type in the median or right on the side of the road, parked perpendicular, and the car, just from all the human behaviors, if it's the human slowing down, it knows to do that. And they must be running a radar speed trap here, because they've got somebody pulled over right up the street here. But anyway, Elon says that unsupervised FSD, I got a Mustang GT pulled over. Imagine that. Mustangs never speed. And they never make a lot of noise. I mean, they're so quiet. I'm joking, of course. But unsupervised FSD is going to be so nice. And I think that's going to be a transition period you're going to see, where FSD goes from being something that's convenience, something that's kind of a, you know, techie, gadget, experimental type thing, to something that's it's going to be a must-have for people. I mean, if you're able to be driven and can use your phone, get things done, you know, watch content on your big screen in your car, who wouldn't want that? I mean, really? I mean, that's going to be a pivotal moment in transportation. And I think at that point, when we have unsupervised, so this is, I'm just looking here, new battery factory, not battery factory, but I think this is the company that does the lithium mining up here in North Carolina. They're building a facility right off the interstate here in Kings Mountain. But anyway, yeah, I mean, think about it. So if they're still selling it for $8,000, and you can just hop in the car and take you anywhere while you play on your phone, I think most people these days, all they care about is what's on their phone, what's going on, the social media, the videos, their TikToks, their business, their texts to their friends, their family, and whatnot. That's all, you know, everybody's cares about. And when it comes to driving, I would just assume let the car do all that while they use their phone. And $8,000 is nothing. If you hired somebody to drive you around to do the same thing, you think about it, I mean, you would pay that in just a few months' time. And even better, you can subscribe to the Full Self Driving right now for $99 a month. And if they keep it that price, which I think they should, at least for early adopters, and then maybe experiment with going up on it over time or something. I think people pay it, and there's not a lot of money for the convenience. But people will see that. I mean, right off the bat, most people will do it just to be able to, not have to drive and be able to do other things. But there will also be a realization of the time they're getting back in their life when they're not having to drive, and that's going to be very valuable. They're going to quickly see the value in paying for the FSD. But it leads into another discussion: robotaxi. Tesla said that the Cybercab is going to be debuting in Austin, Texas in June. With obviously it has the unsupervised FSD, because there's no steering wheel, there's no pedals, there's nothing in that car. You just get in, and I have ridden in one. If you haven't watched my video, go back on my channel. I was invited by Tesla to their launch event or party in Los Angeles back in October, and I went, and I was one of the first people in the world to get to ride in the Cybercab. And when you get in it, they try the seat is more like a sofa than it is a car seat. So they want it to be more of a very entertainment type atmosphere in the vehicle rather than a car. And so, you've got a really big screen. I think it's 20 inches. It's even bigger than what I've got here in Cybertruck. And you have this sofa-like seat that you sit in. It's real comfortable. And, because the idea is you're in there to be entertained by your phone or the screen. And the car does all the driving. And so, Tesla has everything lined up. That's really the future in that company's growth, the future in transportation. And so they've got all the stars have aligned, so to speak, to make this come to fruition. They are the only company in the U.S. that has this scalable software, this a general solution that'll work anywhere. It's not like Waymo that only works in limited areas and limited cities. Waymo will not even get on the freeway, for God's sakes. If you have to go 15 miles away or 20 miles away in San Francisco on a Waymo, it takes it an hour and a half to get there because it has to go all city streets. You can't take the interstate freeway. But Tesla has the software. The only company that is building a dedicated Cybercab or robotaxi product that's going to be scalable. They're going to be able to pump out a couple of million or more of those a year. And I tell you what, they're going to sell a lot of those, because think about the value proposition in the Cybercab robotaxi business. If you want to get into that business, you buy the vehicle for $35,000. That's what they're saying. It's going to be around $30,000. I can see the first one's coming out maybe 40 or 50, and I'll pay that for it. But you buy the vehicle, and then there's going to be like a revenue sharing model. So think of it like Uber or Lyft or something, and Tesla gets, say, 30%, and you get 70% of the revenue. And all you have to do is maintain the vehicle. You have to make sure that it's clean, basically, and it's operational. And I guess if there's any problems, it gets stuck or anything like that in the beginning, that's probably going to be a thing. And you'll have to go, check on it or find it or do whatever you got to do. I'm sure over time that'll become more and more rare. But that's a pretty good deal. And right off the bat, you're going to see it's going to kill Uber and Lyft. I mean, and Uber knows that. Look at what their CEO has said recently. He said publicly, we don't want to compete against that because they can't compete against it. You know, all the drivers are going to want to buy a robo-taxi and get in that business because they don't have to get out there and drive. The vehicle operates 24 hours a day. So when they have the people that need to get to the airport at 3 or 4 in the morning, you know, they don't have to get up and go out and do that. The vehicle just does it on its own. So all those people are going to get into that business, and then from a rider, you know, aspect is the riders are going to love it because, you know, let's face it, probably one of the worst parts of Uber or Lyft ride-sharing service is having to interact with whoever shows up. You know, there's always a little bit of uncertainty about whose car you're getting in, who is this person, and especially for certain demographics like, you know, women might feel unsafe with certain drivers, and then there's a lot of, you know, just bad interactions between the two. And so, you know, having a autonomous vehicle without a driver just cuts all that out of the equation. And so it's another benefit. So, you know, this is my prediction. In the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see these cyber cabs everywhere. Tesla is going to be pumping them out. And I know personally myself, I'll probably buy 2 right off the bat. And what my goal is to maybe have 5 or 10. I don't know. There's going to be a point I think you'll reach where, you know, first movers, the first people who buy these things are really going to have the opportunity to make the revenue, make the money. But we're going to reach a point in just the first 5 years that there's going to be so many of these, it's going to cut into your profits, because everybody's going to be buying these things. They're going to be everywhere. And so, which will be good, because I think more and more people will be opting not to get a vehicle. Why would you go through the trouble of buying a car, having to get it get it insured, pay for that, having the liability, and the upkeep, the maintenance, all of that comes with owning a vehicle. When you don't have to, there's always going to be a autonomous vehicle that can take you from point A to B, just a couple of minutes away. I mean, there's going to be so many of these things, I think, literally, that you're going to be able to just go on the app and summon a robo-taxi, and it'll be there like in 1 minute or 2 minutes. They'll just, one of your neighbors will have one, or there'll just be parked places waiting on drive. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So I think in 3 years, you're going to start seeing these everywhere, and we're going to reach a point in about between 5 and 10 years where that's going to be the majority of what's going to be on the streets. That's what's going to be in the parking lots. They're going to be everywhere. And one thing I think is pretty cool is this gold color. And I wondered when I first saw it, first time I saw the cyber cab, like I said, I rode in it. Because of the lighting, it was at night, I didn't really notice that it was this gold color. I knew it looked a metallic sheen to it, and it looked a little off. I couldn't quite put my finger on what I was looking at, but I didn't really realize until the next day that this vehicle was like gold. And Franz von Hausen, the chief designer of Tesla, said in an interview where he's talking about the cybercab that that's them paying homage to Yellow Taxi. They wanted to make it a color that was, kind of taxi related. What better than the, typical yellow taxi color? But they made it gold instead, so that's pretty cool. It's like a futuristic taxi. And my car's just weaving in and out of traffic right now because I'm going through Gastonia, North Carolina, and it's pretty heavy traffic usually in Gastonia on 85. But so yeah, these things are going to be everywhere. There's no other company that has the technology, and I think you're going to quickly see two things happen. Car companies are going to be in one of two camps. Either A, they're going to license Tesla's full self-driving technology, and Tesla's already stated that they'll be happy to license it, but one, their vehicles are going to have at least a year head start before they let other companies, come out with. And two, it's going to take about a year to fully validate a manufacturer's vehicle, because there's a lot that has to be done. It's not just simply load the software in the car. They have to integrate the cameras. They have to integrate Tesla's inference computer. They have to, that has to be baked into the initial design of the vehicle from the ground up. So a company's going to have to consciously decide on implementing FSD basically from the design, from the beginning onset of design of a vehicle, so that that hardware can be fully integrated, and only at that point can the software be tested and validated for a new vehicle. But you'll have companies that'll jump on that. Now, whether or not Tesla will let these third parties join the robo-taxi ride-sharing fleet is to be determined. I can see them later on down the road allowing that, but definitely for the first 3 to 5 years, I think it's going to be Tesla's vehicles only. And speaking of that, Tesla has said that all of their cars will be able to be enrolled in the robo-taxi fleet, not just the Cybercab. If you have a Model Y, Cybertruck, Model 3, Model S, X, and it meets the requirements, which right now is like hardware, the newer hardware for. There are some vehicles on the road with older full self-driving hardware 3, that wouldn't quite make the cut. But anyway, as long as they have said that you will be able to enroll your, personal Model Y or Cybertruck or whatever in the robo-taxi fleet. So that's pretty cool. And but I can see them only using Tesla vehicles for the first 3 to 5 years, and then probably way later down the road allowing other companies to, enroll their vehicles that have Tesla FSD. But you're going to see the companies that license FSD. Then you're going to see there's going to be another camp that are going to go out and try to partner with another company developing FSD or autonomous software. And there will be some that will emerge. I think Mobileye, which is a U.S.-based company, it was an Israeli company and got bought by Intel. And I think Intel might have spun it back off to a separate company again. I'm not sure. But I know they're developing a system. But the biggest problem with developing a system like this is validating the data, having the data for the training model, train your AI model, and having the compute power to do the training. Tesla has, they spent tens of billions of dollars, and the hardware and the software is a very important part of it. But the most critical part is the compute and the training data. And they have the largest super compute cluster that they just opened in Austin, Texas at the Gigafactory, and it's, you know, cranking out ones and zeros as it computes and crunches these videos to analyze them and label them and, you know, train the AI model, and to get better, and basically get better and better and better. The more driving data they have, the better it's going to get. And that leads into the second part, which is the data. I mean, Tesla's been collecting this data from its, you know, drivers for 7 years, if not longer now. And they have all, you know, all the videos, instances of edge cases, easy, you know, what the drivers did, and they're able to label that data, put it in their supercompute cluster for training, and store all that data. So, for example, you know, say there's an edge case where they're having an issue where deer are running in front of cars in a, you know, particular area. They can go back through their data and do a search for all the instances they have on file of deer running, you know, in front of a car, and what the driver did to mitigate it. Did they hit the deer, or did they try to avoid it? How did they try to avoid it? And they can go through and focus on that one aspect or that one edge case and retrain their data. And so, you know, that's one of the advantages of having a massive amount of labeled data in our archive. And nobody else has got it. And, you know, it's taken Tesla over 7 years to collect that data. So somebody starting out today, if they wanted to develop a system, really the only alternative they would have to quickly scale with the data is to do it by simulation. So they would have a computer simulate the driving scenarios and the edge cases, and they would use that simulation to train their data. And the problem is, Tesla tried that, you know, they tried that for several years, and it just, you cannot train your AI model with simulated data the way that you can with real world data. I mean, they found out that when they got out on the real world, on the road, the AI just, you know, wasn't really fully trained. Sort of like, I guess, a human going to take a driver test and then getting in the car and actually driving. It's two different things. But anyway, so I'm excited about the future. Again, I can't wait to get my hands on a cybercab, a couple of cybercabs. If they allow people in Austin to buy them this year, I'm gonna buy some in Austin and have a small fleet operated there. And I'll, you know, go to Austin and buy some land, or buy a facility or something where I can have somebody that can shepherd, you know, be a shepherd to the small fleet. And then I'll just, you know, whenever regulations allow for them in South Carolina, I'll just get those shipped out here. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for cybercab. Can't wait. And well, I'm in Charlotte now. My car's got 7 miles to get off on the exit to head over to the Tesla Service Center. So enjoyed this little chat with you, and I'll try to do a vlog maybe on my way back home tomorrow, and we'll discuss another topic, which is a gentleman by the name of Elon Musk. You may have heard of him. Yeah, I think that'd be a good conversation to have. Old Elon, what has he been up to lately? A lot to unpack there. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and look for my video later on the Model Y test drive. See you guys.